How do you manage externally with your external audiences, the expectations versus what you know the reality is, and how do you think you've done with that so far?
That's the hardest part of my job. My hardest part of my job. How do you go out and get people really excited about the season, about the team, about the future, without setting up false expectations at a place that we've talked about before, that no matter what has happened, the day the season starts, everybody remembers 1982 and 1986, and that's their expectation. And to be honest with you, it's the thing I probably love the most about Penn State, is there is an expectation here for greatness. It's also the thing that can be the most challenging. So I get that, that's part of the job. And I also get that I come in here and you guys are going to ask tough questions. I get that. I get the fans, I get the media, but I go to sleep every single night feeling really good about what we're doing and how we're doing it. And I understand the issues. I see the things that everybody else sees. I know we got to get better, but coming in here and talking about those negative things, or what I would call throwing people under the bus, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it, but I think you're exactly right. That's the being able to manage that is probably the biggest challenge. And I look around the country, I see a lot of places going through similar things, and I study those people and how they do it. And there's a fine line to it. So, but I get it. I get it. I get you guys got to do your job. I get how the fans feel. I get all of it. But I also I've been in the business long enough. I know the things that you need to do to be successful long term and short term, and we're doing those things. I think that's one of the things that I probably would look back. There's some things short term that you could say you do differently, but I don't know if they're the right things to do long term. And that's the struggle in our climate of college football now. It's the time frame and the timelines are different. Our society as a whole is different. Immediate gratification.
This is about your defense. 2 weeks ago, you won on the fumble recovery for the touchdown that preserved the win last week. You got the stop at midfield with a couple minutes to go. How much does your faith in the defense, that those guys will come up with big plays, shape a lot of the rest of the things that go on during the game, offensive play calling, to be able to be a little conservative because you know they can get the stops?
Very much so. You guys are asking me questions this week that I think are similar to how we've been approaching it. Really the last 4 weeks. It's our defense has played at a high level. We feel really good about our defensive line and what we're starting to develop in our secondary. Our challenge this year was at linebacker, but the young linebackers are coming on. So yeah, I think a lot of the things that we do in the style that we've played are to put us in those types of positions. So yeah, I don't think there's any doubt about it. And I think if you look over the last 2 years, that's been a big factor in a lot of the decisions and the style that we've played.
James, excuse me, you said that you understand the issues that everyone else sees, but at the same time, this Penn State offense is currently ranked, 116th, in total offense. You mentioned you still go to sleep every night feeling good. What is it that you kind of see in this offense that leads you to believe there's...
It's about the program overall, and it's about the long-term development. It's not about statistics. It's about the long-term development and the work that we're doing every single day with our guys and our approach and finding ways to get wins, which is ultimately what it's all about.
I have time for 2 more.
Hey Coach, good afternoon.
How are you?
I'm great, thanks. How are you?
Good.
You mentioned a little bit earlier about the instant gratification mentality of both society and college football. Does that put a lot of pressure on you personally, and how do you manage that internally and externally when you're sending a message?
Yeah, to be honest, I don't think about it a whole lot until I come in here. To be honest with you. But I guess that's what I would go back to saying. That's kind of what me and Josh were just talking about a little bit. It's just having discussions every single morning at 7 a.m. at our staff meeting and being really honest with each other and challenging each other. Having conversations that I have throughout the day with staff. Having conversations that I have with people that have been around Penn State for a long time. Talking to people that have been around college football or football in general for a long time. And that's what I mean to Josh's question is we're doing those things right. You know, I look at how our guys are killing it in the classroom. I look at how our guys are doing socially. I look at how our players are developing in the program. I look at how we're recruiting. I look at all the things that in my mind, if you had a pie and you sliced it up into all the things that are important to being successful, a lot of them are checked off. A lot of those boxes are checked off. Do we need to get better on offense? Yes, there's no doubt about it. Have we identified what those issues are and things that we need to improve on? Yes. Are we working hard on them every single day? Yes. Am I going to come in here and tell you guys exactly what those things are, in my opinion? No. Again, because if someone could explain to me how that helps our program, if someone could explain to me how it helps our program for me to come in and say, this is a problem, this is a problem, this is a problem, do we have those conversations internally? Yeah. But coming in here, I'll be honest with you, I had a fan send me a colorful text, or not text, excuse me, tweet the other day. And it went on and on and on and on and on. And I looked at it, and I was going to respond. And I said, don't respond, don't respond, don't respond. And then like 4 hours later of scrolling, I looked at it again, and I was about to respond. I said, don't respond, don't respond. And then the next morning, I saw it again. I said, no, I'm going to respond. And I respond. And I just said, tell me how that would help. Because he basically was saying the same thing that you guys asked me. So I said, explain to me how that will help. If you can explain to me how that would help the situation we're in and make it better, I'm happy to do it. And I get a response. Coach, you're exactly right. I was emotional. I was angry. I let my emotions get the best of me. You have our support. Blah, blah, blah. You know, and I guess that's how I look at it. I understand you guys got to ask the tough questions. I'm asking the same tough questions in our office internally. I'm looking at it as well. But I just think there's a time and place for everything. And after the game is not the right time. In this press conference, I don't think is the right time.